While it's a beautiful city in the daytime, nighttime just got an extra flair to it. It makes it a little bit more exciting. And what better way to talk about ghosts than by being drug around by a big old horse.
That's Michael Barrett with Palmetto Carriage Works. He's been a tour guide for 8 years and is one of the certified tour guides, adding a paranormal twist to Charleston's history in the evenings.
My two favorite ghost stories is Harriet Mackey, which is the story about Charleston's dead bride over at St. Michael's Church. And then I love to tell the Edgar Allan Poe story with Annabelle Lee.
Palmetto Carriage Works started these haunted carriage rides a couple of years ago.
As the market sort of changed a little bit in Charleston, people just don't want to ride out in the heat like they used to. And so we're looking at a couple of different options, and the ghost tours are just super popular.
We braced ourselves and braved the 50-minute trip around the commercial district of downtown Charleston.
We started out making the first stop over at St. Philip's. And St. Philip's is the oldest congregation here in Charleston, 1680. And we talked about the ghost of John C. Calhoun, a two-time vice president, while we were sitting up there. So as we kept going along on the route, we came up to the Circular Church, which happens to be the oldest graveyard in Charleston, dating back to 1681. And there we talked about a few stories, because the Circular Church has so many different stories in that graveyard. It's pretty awesome. We talked about the mass grave that was out there.
We didn't see any ghosts on our tour, but others have.
I've had a number of people capture images of ghosts over at the Circular Church graveyard, over at Washington Square, and typically the most active time that these have occurred were in the month of October. And then we actually got to see the Charleston's dead bride one night inside of St. Michael's, and that was really interesting to see, so pretty cool. You just see this young girl in a flowery dress, in her wedding dress, and she's walking down the aisle as if she's going to the altar for her wedding. So it's a full-bodied apparition.
It's exciting when he sees something unexplainable.
What I can see doesn't scare me. It's those moments you have that you can't see that will scare you. So you get some noises sometimes that'll frighten you a little bit, bring the goosebumps up. And sometimes, you're out, if you actually get out into some of these places, walking around, feeling the hands touching you and breathing down your neck, that can be a little nerve-wracking.
Barrett had his own frightening moment when he was telling the story of George Poirier at the F.W. Wagner building.
After talking about that story and heading back to the barn, I was standing on the carriage, and as everybody else testified to, the managers, is that it looked as if somebody was grabbing onto my shirt. They could see him yanking me, and I actually went flying off the dadgum carriage. So that was a pretty exciting moment.
General Manager of Palmetto Carriage Works, Tommy Doyle, says people's response to these haunted carriage rides has been incredible.
Now, my family, we've been doing this for 50 years. And this is one of the more popular ideas that we've put out there, and the response from the community has been really good. People enjoy it.
Carriages hold up to 16 people, and those spots fill up fast. So if you're brave enough, reserve one early. Working for you, Charleston Clark, News 4.